birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Oh, wait a second. I'm at the wrong party. What I meant to say is welcome back for another episode of the Whatever Buddy podcast. On today's episode, we try and celebrate Johnny's birthday, talk about who else was born on this day, and later, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, actor, writer, and all-around good guy, Jarrod Robbins. Not that I like to repeat myself, which is a total lie, but sit back, relax, grab some fried catfish, your favorite cowboy boots with no pants on, of course, and enjoy your weird little self. So with no further ado, Ryan and Jonny!
Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday,
Thanks,
Jonny,
buddy.
you.
Thank you, buddy.
This thing is going to be annoying. I think I'm going to take it off. Just acknowledge it first. Acknowledge my little happy birthday pillow.
Why are you going to take it off? How's that in your way? I like it. Leave it.
It's spinning and it's bothering me. There, I'll try
OCD
to
at its
secure it.
finest.
What's that?
I said OCD at its finest.
At its finest. At its finest. I would like to, first off, say happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, me.
Birthday podcast.
It's me birthday day. It's pretty wild, man. June's a great month for birthdays.
Yeah.
There's some cool people born this month. I just found out. I have a bunch of. I know people every day this week. Like my birthday's today. One of my best friends, Matt Grayson, is tomorrow, and then Art from Art of Shock, who I just found out while getting here to the rehearsal building, that his birthday's on Wednesday. And then my roommate's birthday is on Thursday.
Yeah, we got the point. Yeah, we got the point. A lot of people have birthdays in June. Yeah, got it. I think my decorations are falling down. They might.
But these are great decorations. To anybody who can't see,
they may or may not make it through the podcast.
Ryan's gone out of his way to give me a little bit of a celebration here. I got to say thank you because you're the first person to give me a celebration today. He's trying to blow on.
You got to make the noise.
Has a happy birthday in the background. We got some balloons, which I just think he likes having ball-looking things on his desk behind him. He got little 2 balls or maybe a couple of jugs, however you look at it. And then he's got a big pinata right there hanging on his microphone for him.
Well, now I'm going to say one thing real quick. I would like to thank my mom because my mom is the one that's responsible for bringing the decorations over.
Oh, for real?
Yes. So this decorated podcast is brought to you by Mama Harris.
Tell your mom I said thank you.
Also, she listens.
We actually thought about having Mama you on the show today, but we decided against it because we wanted to protect her from the crazy.
I'm going to take this thing off. In my efforts to be funny, I was looking up like birthday prank videos, you know? All right?
I'm having a little celebration over here for myself. Happy birthday to me.
Make sure to do this when you blow out your candles later on today, bud.
Happy birthday to you.
She just farted.
She just sharded.
That did sound like a shard. I was milky.
That was a shart.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
You're holding
to
fire.
You. I caught that.
The chick's hair got caught on
Your
fire.
hair just went up in flames.
People large majority of people are uncoordinated, huh?
It appears so. I mean, like, uncoordinated or just stupid. I mean, where's
Just like
that line
socially, just
like not aware of their surroundings. Like that broad should have known that her hair was near the candles.
you're holding fire.
I didn't mean to call her a broad. I got yelled at from my chick about that. I mean, that girl, that woman, fuck it. That idiot should have been aware that there was fucking fire.
You can't call her a broad, but you can call her an idiot.
Yeah, broad's demeaning. Idiot's what she is.
Yo, dummy. Who do you share a birthday with? Do you share? We were talking about this, and you mentioned a couple of names.
There's a couple of cool people.
Makes me want to look it up. Famous people born today: Prince William, Chris Pratt,
William. Interesting.
Edward Snowden, Yoko Widodo.
He's the president of Indonesia.
That's right. Tall drink of water.
He looks... Is that
Rebecca
his hair,
Black.
or is he wearing a hat? Who's Rebecca Black?
You never heard that Friday song a couple years back?
Never.
Joey Kramer from Aerosmith.
He's born on my birthday. He's a dick. I met him once.
Really? That sucks.
Yeah, when I worked at the Ivy, he came in and I was like, Joey Kramer, and he was just like, don't fucking talk to me. Like, he just had that vibe.
Oh, that sucks.
And I had to seat him at his table, so it was
Well, they kicked him out of Aerosmith.
They made him re-audition or something too. They did some weird.
It was like a year ago.
Real right before the pandemic. It was real disrespectful.
Yeah. They had I think it was a Vegas residency, and there's a video of him going to where they're rehearsing and like not being let in.
Really? Where's that video?
Yeah, I saw it on the YouTubes.
But I just read something last week. Brad Whitford, I guess, what's he, the bass player? One of those.
The guitar player.
He's
the other guitar player.
Yeah, the blonde-haired guy, right?
Yeah.
He said he doesn't see Aerosmith touring again ever. He's like, dude, I've done it for 50 years. I want to enjoy my life a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, like, granted, it's hard to sit here and say, because like my first reaction when I hear him say something like that is like you enjoy your life, like what you haven't had an enjoyable life. But the flip side of that is, for those who might not get it, because it is really easy to think, well, you're an Aerosmith. That's probably a great fucking life. But it also is a life that's constantly away from your family, constantly on the road, constantly moving around.
I don't take that comment as a negative thing, like I hate this and I want to enjoy life. I just take it as him going like, I want to enjoy life. Like I want to rest. Everybody else in every other occupation retires and people are like, I understand that. But in entertainment, it's like, well, why are you quitting? It's people view art differently, Here's the actual video.
I'm sorry to inform you we've been hired by the other four members of the band to ask that you I'm sorry, we're just asking that you not come into the property right now. We've been hired by the other four members of the band to ask that you don't come in today. Okay.
God.
That's sad.
Is that alright?
It's horrible. The guy's been in the band for like fucking 50 years.
Of course.
And then he's like, you guys are just doing your job. Like he's just
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
not angry or anything.
I take back him being a dick.
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean,
if he
you
was
tell
a dick to
me,
me, I mean, that's karma right there, I guess, for being a dick to me.
you tell me you're in a band with a guy for 50 years and you can't have that conversation. You got to hire security to like just turn him away like that.
Something
That's
tells
kinda
me
shitty.
though it isn't. I don't.
There's more to
I
it
don't.
than that.
Yeah, like I don't think it like was a thing. Like something tells me they told him already, and he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna go to practice."
It's probably more likely. He's like, I'll just show up. I mean, I love Aerosmith, but they're notorious for not getting along. There was a feeling that I had after I moved to LA, and it was like, I'll try to put it into words. It's not really something I ever felt before or that I could describe, but I remember the first night sleeping whenever I got my first LA apartment. I didn't have a whole lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah, I remember my first night sleeping in LA too.
Dude, I had literally a bed. I had a table that I put my laptop on, and I didn't have cable or anything, so I just like put at the time DVDs in my laptop, and that's how I went to sleep. And like uncontrollably smiling, just because like the feeling that I was trying to explain was that like there was a weight lifted that I'd never have to wonder what if I tried that. And I knew that. I knew that at that moment, I would never, ever again worry or wonder or whatever you want to call it. Like, what if I would have tried that? What if I would have just went out and gave it a shot? Like,
That was a big reason I left Philly.
Yeah.
When I left Philly,
Yeah.
I said, I never want to look back and say, what if I would have? And yeah, same thing. I get it. And
there's people that I've met in LA, yourself very much included, is like, you sort of like have that unspoken, like, I understand that you know what that feels like because you did it too. Like, you know what it feels like to uproot yourself, leave everything. I'm being dramatic, but leave a lot of your life behind because your family's back east. My family's back east, you know? So
I left everything behind. I didn't. I came out with a truck full of stuff, and that was about it.
Same. I brought my gear and clothes.
Yeah, I brought a bed. I remember I didn't have any furniture yet, so I set my bed up in the middle of the living room. For whatever reason, I was freaked out to sleep in the bedroom, so I set it up in the living room.
My first apartment was a studio, and the guy that was moving out sold me his old furniture because he didn't want it anymore. And it was just like, it was a small couch, it was a mattress, and it was that's gross now that I think about it, but and a table.
Yeah, mattress part.
I didn't think about it then. I was just like, oh, cool, I have a bed now. Like, this past year, the pandemic has made me think a little bit more about germs than I did in the past, I think. But let's talk about who we have joining us today.
Well, we have Jarrod Robbins. Mr. Jarrod, we know Jarrod from Los Angeles. Jarrod is an actor / writer / all-around great guy. And he has just recently released 2 books. And he moved from Dayton, Ohio to Los Angeles, California to Nashville. I want to get to the bottom of that one. From my understanding, he's gone the Ohio to LA thing a couple of times. At least 2, if not 3 times. And then he left LA recently and went to Nashville. And from my understanding, he's doing well in Nashville. I never understood the concept of leaving LA as an actor and going to Nashville to be an actor, but apparently it's working out really well for him. So that's our guest. That's Jarrod. He's a
nice stand-up fellow,
Ohioan. Good guy to have on the birthday show.
Seems like he can handle himself.
In what way?
In the physically able way.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Jarrod Robbins.
Jarrod Robbins. All the way from Nashville, Tennessee, Jarrod Robbins.
If it's all the same to you, I think I'll drink.
Jarrod Robbins. What's up, brother?
It's connecting to audio.
Connecting.
Still
connecting.
Must
connecting.
Must be that Nashville Wi-Fi.
It's that Tennessee lag.
Yes. No, since he can't defend himself right now, I hope he can hear us.
He can't hear us because we're funny and he's not laughing.
Oh, you can hear us. Now he's bad. Fuck, now he can defend himself. I know Jarrod from L.A., and you guys obviously know each other in the world. Please meet Jarrod. He's a hell of a guy. He's an actor / writer / lover / handsome devil /
tall drink of water
/ he is a hell of a bottle of water, and I just love the guy all around. So yeah, this is Jarrod Robbins, and thank you for coming to join us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
In case you're wondering about the janky decorations, today's Johnny's birthday, so we're celebrating.
I know that. Happy birthday, J.U.
Thank you. This feels like my bar mitzvah. I loved going to everybody else's bar mitzvah, but when it was my own bar mitzvah, I hated it.
Why?
Yeah, but you don't get money to go to other people's, right?
Yeah, that's true. But you get peace. You got to work for that money. I was just talking about this with my mom, actually. I'll tell you why. Because I actually was one of the... Okay, for those who don't know, in the Jewish religion, men and women are bar or bat mitzvahed at the age of 13. And
that's where they cut your dick off?
That's at like the age of like a month. And that's just the tip. That's cool. Whatever. We'll get to that another time. But the reality of it is we're supposed to become grown-ups. I become a man and they become a woman, which is such bullshit because you turn 13, you're like, leave me alone. 13. I'm a man now. And they're like, shut the fuck up, right? But I was one of the few that actually was very lucky that I actually had my bar mitzvah on my actual 13th birthday.
Is that doesn't normally happen that way?
No, that was like a not a normal thing. You get it when you're 13. Mm-hmm. And because so many kids are turning 13, there's a schedule. Like, and you're booking your bar mitzvah a few years ahead of time. And fucking got mine, dude, right on my birthday. It was great.
Hey, man.
Great stuff. Yeah, man.
See,
I became a man on my birthday.
You were healed up by July.
Yeah, dude, enough with this. That's a fucked up concept. We can talk about it for a second. It's a bris, and for those of you who don't know what that is, no, we will. It's okay. It's funny, because it's funny. Okay.
That's putts. I learned
it's putts.
That. Putts is the part that comes off.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
that.
what
That's
the word
amazing.
means?
Yeah.
I knew it meant dick.
My brothers and I
thought
always
it meant
said that
dick.
from,
I thought you're acting like a putz.
We always used it from watching Grumpy Old Men, right? And that's what my brothers and I always said it from.
Damn.
And then a friend of mine was like, "You know what that is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a jackass neighbor." And they're like, "No, it's the part of the foreskin that gets cut off in a circumcision."
Oh,
do you realize what a contribution you just made to this podcast?
It's amazing. We talk about putts all the time.
We said the word putts every single episode.
We've come full circle.
Full circle. Okay.
Yeah. Full circumcision.
We've come full circumcision.
In the Jewish religion, we call this little gathering a bris. And what a bris is when the whole family comes over, they eat cake, they eat sandwiches, they have some beer, they have some wine. All the while, they're watching a rabbi who I don't even know if he's qualified for this gig, but we're watching a rabbi snip the foreskin off. And we celebrate. We cheers, and then that's it. Anyway, Jarrod.
Yeah.
Welcome, Jarrod.
Coming in hot.
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast.
I appreciate it, fellas. Thank you. Thank you, buddies.
We know you from Los Angeles.
Right.
However, you're from Dayton, Ohio, if I'm correct, or outside of Dayton.
Tiny little town outside of Dayton. Yeah.
Tiny little town outside of Dayton. We're going to get to Dayton later, just so you know.
Oh,
Be
good.
prepared for that one. You went back and forth between Dayton and LA a couple of times, and then you made a move from LA to Nashville. And I remember when you told me this, I thought to myself, well, that's an interesting choice considering that the acting industry is in Los Angeles. So with that being said, give us a background. Tell us about you and tell us the story that I just presented.
Yeah, man. I moved out to Los Angeles to pursue acting and writing. I've been writing screenplays and stuff for years. And
were you a writer or an actor first?
I don't know, man. They always were just hand in hand to me. Yeah.
Totally.
Especially when I first started out acting, I couldn't convince anybody in Ohio or Indiana to put me in anything. So I used to write my own stuff. I had done that for years and made a bunch of short films and stuff. And I don't know, just felt like it was time to go.
Ryan and I were just talking about this
Right.
about an hour ago, where we were like, that feeling of moving to LA and that first night we spent in our apartments in Hollywood, and just that weight that's lifted of, now I never have to look back and say, if only I would have.
Right.
So what made you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I cannot risk looking back saying, if only I would have?
Well, that's exactly it. I've always been that guy. It's much easier for me to deal with making a misstep than it is to sit around and wish that I had stepped.
Yeah. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I could never deal with that.
Dude.
That shit keeps me up. That shit haunts me. So,
and I think there's more people with dreams that have that feeling than the three of us have, because there's so many pressures and everybody around you. How about all that? None of us talked about that before. How about all the outside noise of the people saying, "Why are you going there, man? What, are you crazy? What are you doing that for? What you think you're going to?
How are you going to make money?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Do you have a job when you get there? It's just like, I think there's two types of people: the planned out types, and then the artistic types. And the artistic types are just like jumping the deep end.
Yeah.
Who cares if I don't have a job there yet? I'll figure it out. And then, you know what?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Too serious?
Yeah,
too serious, guys? Is that too serious?
No, man. No. This is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. I did Los Angeles back and forth for 12 years. Moved back to Ohio a few times when, those missteps. I got arrogant at first. Worked really hard for a couple years. Got my SAG card.
That's a huge achievement in itself.
But yeah, I declared to my brother, I was like, I'm an actor now. I'm never getting a day job again. Fuck that. I'm professional. And then the writer's strike happened, and I couldn't find work. I couldn't find anything. And I was like, oh, I'll ride this out. It'll be cool. I ended up back in Ohio. Both my brother and I did. And just went and saved up money and moved back. And I had to do that a few times.
So you moved out to LA to be an actor. You started out doing that. But you've also published 2 books. I understand how the two can go hand in hand, but talk about the books that you put out.
Yeah, I moving to Nashville about 2.5 years ago was a strategic move for acting. A lot of my friends started moving to Atlanta because Atlanta blew up after The Walking Dead and Marvel. You know, just so many studios built and stuff. So nothing against any Atlanta people. I hate Atlanta. I have very limited experience there, but I hated it. So I just didn't want to go. And then a buddy of mine lives in Louisville, and he was like, hey, you should move to Louisville. And I'm like, I don't know that there's a whole lot of film industry there, pal. You know, but then he was like, well, they film stuff in Nashville. I looked in a 5-hour radius from Nashville. I figured out that I could be in Birmingham, Alabama, Memphis, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Dayton, Columbus, all the way over to Charlotte, Atlanta. You know, all these big filming cities I could be at, you know, and within a 5-hour radius. So even though Nashville doesn't have a lot of filming done here specifically, I can be just about anywhere. So I became a much bigger fish in a much smaller pond. You know, there's like, I don't know, there's like 40,000 people in LA that look just like me or better.
Mm-hmm. Probably more than 40,000.
They might look just like you, but they don't look better, pal. They don't look better.
No.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. My 5th day here, I got the biggest audition of my life.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
What
it's
was it
just
for?
affirmed. I didn't get it, but it was for The Devil All the Time. It was a Netflix movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So there's a SAG office and all that other stuff there?
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
I actually went there first. I went and scouted it out here a few months before I moved. Crashed with a buddy of mine. I went and visited the SAG office. I found a list of SAG agents. And I found the best reviewed, the best rated one. And I went and knocked on her door, which you're not supposed to do, but I figured, fuck it. Like, I'm
That's how
only
you
in
get
town
shit
for
done,
2
dude.
days.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You can't do
So
that.
I
Who
just
says?
apologized. She
She
sat
likes
down
it
and
probably.
talked with her, and she's amazing. She's been just my biggest advocate. So
So acting's what took you to Nashville, but then we were going to the books. That's where we were getting to.
I've always been a writer. You know, like I've written, I don't know, 50 songs. Like, I'm not a musician, but I love writing. And I've written books and books of poetry and short stories, short films, feature films, just everything. I just love writing, always have. And my mom had been getting on me for 20 years to write a book.
Truth in Madison's the first book, and Mad River is the second book.
Correct.
They are not related as far as
Not at
sequels
all.
or anything.
Not at all.
And where can
Entirely
people
different.
find these books at?
Truth in Madison is available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. It's available in hardcover, barnesandnoble.com. And the audiobook is available on Audible and iTunes and maybe one other, I don't remember.
You're an actor, and you did this string of Bushmills commercials, but just the voiceover. But it's Irish, and you're not an Irish guy from Ireland anyway. You don't sound Irish.
No, I'm not.
What's the deal with that?
I'm not even much of a mimic. You know, there's some guys, some actors that just are great mimics. But I found that if I find a character, you know, rather than like there is some mechanical stuff, like you got to figure out like where in your body the voice comes from.
Yeah. Can you give us the voice for those to hear?
The Bushmills voice.
No.
Come on.
Oh man.
No pressure.
Right.
None.
It's like, damn it, Jarrod, act. I hate that though. It's like whenever you go to someone's party or a cookout or something, and they hand you a guitar. It's just like, I don't want to play this right now. I don't wanna do this.
Or like I've been at parties with a lot of my comic friends, and I've literally heard people say, "Hey, be funny."
Yeah, dude, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
So we're going to have a segment now. It's called How Well Do You Know Johnny You? Being that it is Johnny's birthday, and he likes talking about himself in the third person, obviously. I want to see how well you guys know me, because I wanted to have Jarrod on today because I consider Jarrod a very, very dear friend. And Ryan,
no pressure or anything for this segment.
Yeah, good luck. And Ryan, he's in the same boat with you. And Ryan and I are dear friends, so this is like I couldn't be spending it with better people. So,
and I'm indulging Johnny because it's his birthday, and I think it's okay for him
right.
to talk about himself for a day.
So this is going to be, just so you know, the first of a couple of games we're going to play with you. Okay. So we shall start with How Well Do You Know Johnny You? Number 1. You guys can go back and forth, or you could just...
Let's just shout out the first thing that comes to our mind to your question.
Okay.
And if I say it first, then I say it first. And if Jarrod says it first...
Are you guys going to keep score? Let's make somebody keep score. That's fine.
I'm sure not gonna. It's your game. You can keep score.
Right.
Okay. We'll see. I'll just gauge it. Okay. Number 1. Favorite food?
None of it.
Oh. That's probably more accurate.
Yeah.
I was going to say pasta, like pasta with meat sauce.
There you go. Number 2. Favorite sports team?
Eagles.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 3. Favorite color?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with green.
Green's right.
Really?
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Green is correct. All right. Nice. So anticlimactic.
Right.
That was a clunker. Okay, whatever.
Okay. Number 4. Celebrity crush.
Is it a male or a female celebrity?
In this particular case, it's a male.
Jarrod Robbins.
I was going to guess that, but I figured it might be a little...
I was a little too on the nose.
Right.
Nope. Brad Garrett, that piece of shit.
Brad Garrett.
Yeah, right.
That thunder-ass stealing bitch. Of course it's him. Next. Number 5. What makes me angry?
Oh, that's
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's
literally.
it. You're both right. Everything.
Follow-up question. What makes me happy?
Everything. It's the same thing. It's a hit or miss. You just never know what you're going to get. Okay. What did I want to be when I grew up?
A dancer from Thunder Down Under?
That would have been killer. Wash dishes, mow the lawn, clean the bathroom, or vacuum. Which one would I prefer to do? If I had to, because the answer is obviously none of the above.
Right.
But if I had to, which one am I more likely to do?
I'm going to say mow the yard just because you never have to do it at your apartment. But
That's a great answer, but I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, that's better than I can come up with.
The answer would be wash dishes, because it seems like the easiest, most painless thing to do. I have not had a dishwasher since I've moved to Los Angeles, which sucks. I'm just saying, that sucks, because I hate washing dishes. There's nothing gross. Like, think about the concept of washing dishes. You take this fucking sponge that's cleaning all sorts of shit. You just rinse it off and you do it again. You're telling me there's nothing in this fucking sponge? The shit that's probably on the plates that we eat off of.
Well, hopefully there's soap on your sponge and you're using...
Well, I use soap, but that doesn't get rid of the crud.
there's water.
Sure does.
Water, yeah. I guess. If you guys say so.
Water
I'm
and
pretty
soap
OCD.
should get rid of all the crud.
Does it make me a bad person that, like, I'll, from a distance, watch other people in my apartment wash dishes and be like, man, I wash them so much better than you guys. Now it makes me nervous to eat off of shit
No,
because you guys don't look like
that's
you
not
wash
what
them.
makes you a bad person.
No, it makes you a little bit Judge Judy, but you're all right.
How's that Judge Judy? It's just like straight up observation. I'm not judging.
Yeah, if you were vocal about it, that might make you kind of Karenish.
If you were vocal about it, it'd make you a little cunty, but it makes you Judge Judy because you're standing across the room observing somebody and going, I could do that.
And in my
better."
mind, I'm like, motherfucker, will you wash that better? Don't just rinse
Do
it.
better.
I think I'm going to stop calling you Johnny Karen and I'm going to start calling you Judge Judy
How is that a Judge Judy moment?
because you're standing from across the room watching and judging.
I was
Observing
standing
and
where I'm
judging.
supposed to pick up my... Anyway, Jarrod, how are you?
Yes or no question, Johnny. Yes or no question.
Okay, bring it on.
While you were observing, did you think in your own mind, I could do that better?
Absolutely.
Judge Judy.
And you know what I even thought? Ryan could do that better.
Well, I could do most of the things that you could do better. Happy birthday, buddy. I love you like a brother.
Thanks. I'm glad I came today. This is a fun day.
The roast of JU.
I know, we're going a little bit hard at each other. I apologize.
It's all right. I like it. I can take it. I can take it, you motherfuckers.
I could take it.
So the next
he's
game.
like clenching his fists.
Okay, continuing with the game.
On with the
Favorite
game.
fast food chain. And it's not as obvious as you might think.
Oh, I think I know this one.
All right.
It's that one that was in Missouri.
Yes.
Lion's Choice. Lion's Choice?
That's it. Yes.
Lion's Choice.
Oh, well
fucking
done,
love it.
dude. That's a
Yeah.
3-pointer.
Yeah. For those that never heard of Lion's Choice, it's essentially Arby's.
Better.
Oh,
Way
okay.
better than Arby's.
See, I probably would have guessed McDonald's just because those are the people that you've called the most. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I have called up. I have called.
We were on tour.
Let's bring it up again.
We were on tour, Jarrod. I have a video. I might even include the video. Once again, bringing the video into the podcast. I have video evidence of Johnny holding his receipt for McDonald's on the phone with corporate McDonald's because they put cheese on
I
your
don't know what they do.
muffin in the
Who
morning.
knows?
Or
It was
they
about the principle.
it's the principle of it. Yeah.
he got a free sandwich out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Was it really a free sandwich if I didn't get to eat the first one?
Valid
When you
point.
think about it.
That's a valid
That's
point.
fair. That's fair.
I look at it like this, and cool. We're back to the Karen thing. It's fine. when it comes down to it, man, nobody's willing to make that phone call because it's just a pain in the ass to make the phone call. And if you don't make that phone call, that problem never gets fucking solved. So somebody's got to step up, make the phone call. That would be me.
That didn't make you a Karen. I was there videotaping you. You were polite. You got your money's worth out of something.
Okay. All right.
But as a recall, wasn't one of the qualifiers for being a Karen that people pull out their phone and record you doing it?
Right.
That's true. You know what, man?
You did pull out your
Again.
phone and record it.
You're always welcome on this podcast. You bring stuff to the table.
Thanks, fellas.
I was
there you
videotaping
have
you.
it.
I was
see
videotaping
you
you,
guys
and I'm
later.
about to put it on
I'm out.
YouTube.
That's Karen
funny.
101 right there. That's
We should
Home
release
run.
that. The next game is first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. And Ryan and I will go back and forth on the questions on this one.
Yes.
Okay. Bushmills versus Jameson. Why?
Bushmills because they pay me,
Oh, that's a great answer. That's a fantastic answer.
right?
Good answer.
Fantastic answer. Writing versus acting. Similar yet completely different. What are some of the qualities that you like about each?
That is a good question. Writing definitely has an advantage because I literally do it anywhere I want, anytime I want. But acting, you know, I've said this to Johnny, like, you can't just say like, oh, hey, Jarrod, you want to go out tonight? Like, oh, I can't, guys. I'm going to practice acting. You know, I'm going to stay home and act for a while, you know?
Yeah, like you have to go and you got to like hone the craft.
Yeah. But that being said, like being on set in the moment, like you've done your research, you've done your homework, you know, you're there in the costume, ready to go. Like that moment is probably my favorite thing in the world.
Okay. LA versus Nashville versus Ohio.
It's like Venus versus Mars versus Jupiter.
Right. Nashville is, I'm going to say Nashville for me, again, at this point in my life, because it's kind of a combination of the two, of like where I grew up in Ohio and Los Angeles. Los Angeles, huge metropolis, lots of stuff to do, lots of people, you know, big artist community, you know, just a real fun place to be. Nashville has a scaled down version of that. There's always stuff to do. There's a ton of people here, so much creativity. It's awesome, but you can be anywhere in the city in 20 minutes instead of an hour and a half.
Yeah. Now the real question of the day, Ryan, you give it to him.
The real question of the day. Jarrod, your hometown of Dayton, Ohio is statistically high in crime. At a rate of 1 in 20, the local residents will be either a victim of a violent crime or property theft. As a writer/actor, what are you doing to help the current landscape and contribute back to the community that raised you?
That is an excellent question. That is awesome. In hindsight, I would have been disappointed had you not asked me that.
Good.
I came with the hard-hitting questions today.
And my bullshit answer is the way that I combat that is we made a movie about it.
Yeah.
I mean, a bunch of my buddies, my buddy Corey, who God rest his soul, passed away a few years ago. He wrote and directed a movie called Find Eddie, and I played a small part in it. And it's about that. It's about
really. That's crazy.
Imagine Snatch, but instead of Snatch, instead of London, it's Dayton, Ohio.
It's Dayton, Ohio.
Awesome. No, I was just gonna say, Jarrod, thank you for joining us today. This has been
Thank you guys so much for having me, dude. This is a blast.
This has been great. Make sure anybody go find his books. They are really good.
Mad River comes out July 6th. It'll be available on Amazon, and then the audiobook will be later this year. So
Great. Yeah. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Well, Jarrod, we have 3 different time zones today. Again, we got Eastern, Central, and Pacific. That's where me be. And,
It took you the longest to figure out your own time zone.
Dude, come on, give me a break. It's my fucking.
We got Eastern, Central, and
With that being said, Jarrod, I love you, man. Thank you very much for coming on and being here with us. And everybody, check out his books, and you'll see a lot more of Jarrod Robbins out there in the world. So
thanks again, guys, and happy birthday, Jonny.
Thanks for joining us, brother.
Buddy. Happy belated birthday to you as well, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. See you, Ryan.
See you next time.
Thanks for joining us again here on the One Everybody podcast. That was awesome. Jarrod, you're the man. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody else, for joining in once again. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe on all your favorite platforms. And if you want to watch it, go to youtube.com. You know the .com with the YouTube? You got it. So until next week, everybody, you have a great week, and we will see you again next time.
See you next time.
See you next time.
See you next time.